Good morning, everyone. It is Coach Williams, and we are here for the morning tea. My name is Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise, and I am your victory coach. And I help wives, busy professional women, and kingdom leaders build the life that they've always dreamed of and live there. And during this teaching, I hope something is said that you feel equipped, you feel empowered, you feel encouraged, and that you're educated a little bit so that you feel like you're able to act, you're able to take action on what we're talking about. I want you to be able to take the nuggets that you're given today and apply them to your personal life. It's time out for just coming out here being entertained, hearing a good message, something that makes you feel good, and then you don't apply it to your life. Okay. And so um, we have been talking about, this is our month of preparation, right? You'll be hearing, hi Danny, good morning. You'll be hearing new beginnings for the month of August, right? And so when we hear that, we all are like, yes, new beginnings. But what does that really mean to you? Are you really prepared for your new beginning? And then last week we talked about knowing your investments, being conscious of your investments. Where are you spending your time, your energy? And yeah, where are you spending your money? What are you doing? Because grandmama said don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? And so today I just have one question to ask you guys. Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Right? We were in a session last night when the vow is tested, and we were talking about for richer or poorer. And the woman of God, oh my gosh, she talked about being in alignment. She talked about she had so many nuggets. But one of the things that she was talking about was she said, I had this big, beautiful house, but it was not a home. She said it was beautiful. I filled it with all of these expensive things, but it was cold. She had expectations that once she got all of this money, all of this stuff, that things would be better. And that was not the case. And so when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, God, what do you want me to talk about? And he said, my people have to understand, where are they going? Where are you going? Because what's your destination? Because you can have money or you can have wealth. There's a difference. You can have a house or you can have a home. You can have chaos or peace that surpasses all understanding. You can get married. You can have a wedding. Anybody can go do that. But can you have a happy marriage? Good morning, Raquel. Thanks for coming in, sis. Can you have a happy marriage? So you have to determine today, where are you going? What is your destination? When you get in your car called life, where is it going? Is it going to a good place? Are you ready to change directions? Is it time for you to get off on the off ramp? Maybe you've been going in one direction for all your life, and now God is saying, no, it's time to do something different, right? And he took me to 2 Kings 5. I'm not going to read all of that for you, but when you have a chance today, read 2 Kings 5, and it talks about Naaman. And Naaman was a commander in the army, which meant he had money, he had prestige, right? And in him having money and him having prestige, he felt that there were certain things people, he always had people falling over him, that people respected him. So, good morning, Leah. Thanks for coming in, sis. He had respect, he had position. And when he went to see the man of God, because he had leprosy, he had all of this money, he had the title, he had all of these things, but he didn't have healing. I'm going to say that again. Money could not buy the healing that he needed. When he got sick, money couldn't fix it. And so he went to the man of God, and the man of God didn't. First of all, the man of God did not come out to him. He sent word to him, and he felt disrespected. Okay. And when he felt disrespected, then the prophet told him, he said, now I need you to go dip 7 times in the Jordan River. Okay. And many of us will be like, well, I would go, but this wasn't, the Jordan wasn't like a pool, okay? It wasn't like the sandy beaches that we like to go to. The Jordan was the dirtiest river that you could go to. That's where all the animals went to bathe and all of this. It was nasty, y'all. And so you have this military man, this army man, this man of substance, this a man of prestige, and you're telling him to go dip in the Jordan River? And he was like, can I go somewhere else? How many of us have been there? I've been there, where God has said, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, well, can I do this? Can I go over there? Can I go to this store? Can I go down the street? Why I got to go all the way over there? Why? Do that. Sometimes, y'all, I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes pride had me, and I felt like I was better than what I was being called to do at that particular time. And that was Naaman's problem. Naaman was like, you want me to go and dip in this water? And his servant, and he almost missed his blessing. And his servant said, had he told you to go and do some great thing, would you not have done that? And that sounds kind of like what they talk about in 1 Corinthians 1:27, where it says, instead, God has chosen what is foolish in the world to shame the wise, and God has chosen what is weak in the world to shame the strong. So there are times, y'all, where God is asking you to do something because somebody is looking at you, and right, teaching humility. And God is looking at, somebody is looking at you and going, if she can humble herself and do that, maybe that's not so hard. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe I should just, maybe it is better for me to do this. And Naaman did what the prophet said, and guess what? He got the blessing, and he came running back, and he said, oh, I know there is a God. There's only your God, And some of you is the same place. You're in that same place where God has told you to do something, and you're like, that seems so crazy. That's silly. Organize your office. Why I gotta organize my office? Why I gotta organize my kitchen? Why I gotta organize this? God, why am I throwing stuff away? Why am I going through stuff? Why does this keep happening to me? Because sometimes, y'all, God is just trying to get our attention. Can I be honest with you? Sometimes he's trying to get our attention, because I remember when we first moved into our house, I was not a hoarder. I was not bad enough to be on the TV show Hoarders, but I had a emotional attachment to everything that I had. Because I could open a box and I was like, oh my God, my grandmother gave this to me. Oh my God, this right here. Oh my God, oh my God. And so I would hold on to a lot of stuff. So after, you do the same thing, Raquel. And so after at one point in time, our our garage like flooded like twice, right? The pipes burst in the garage like 2 times. After like the second time, I was just like, I'm over it. And so I literally went through the garage and I told my husband, I said, okay, I sat in a chair and I said, start bringing me those boxes. And he was like, oh, okay. So I would open the box, I would look in the box, and I would put the lid back on it. And I go through that. I was like, no. But it was simple things like that. And as I began to let go of things that I had held on to for years, I began to feel the weight lift. I began to feel the past. I was able to let go of my past because I did not have constant reminders of what once was or where I had been. I was starting to look forward to where I was going, because there's a different kind of preparation that takes place for where you're going. There's a different preparation from the wedding day, getting the perfect dress, having the perfect food. There's a whole different level of preparation for married life, the marriage, that happily ever after, that lifetime together. There's a whole different level of preparation, and there's a whole different set of steps that must be taken on the other side. So I ask you this morning, where are you going? What is your destination? Because it's crazy to get in the car and just start driving and have no idea where you're going. Because you'll just stop anywhere. And it's time out for just settling anywhere. It's time out for just accepting any old thing. I want the blessings of God. We quote it, we say it. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. But how do you think you're going to get it? How do you think and like I said, wealth can mean wealth can be in your health. Wealth can be in your bank account. Wealth can be, you having a happy, joyous, peaceful home, not just a house, because a lot of people have a house. But y'all, I promise you, it's not a home. So be careful of coveting. Be careful of looking into somebody else's situation and saying, "Ooh, I want that." You never know what happens when they go in that house and close those doors, because the image that is presented to you may very well not be the reality that they're looking at. Because when you start looking at people and how they live and what they show you as far as these social media streets, everybody, now, me, what you see is what you get. If I'm having a bad day or got something going on, you probably will not see me on social media. But here's the thing, I'm not going to tell you a lie either. I'm not going to present something to you that's not the case. But a lot of people, that's what they do, y'all. Y'all do understand. "Ooh, and we so happy," and all of this, and you sitting over there like, wow, how they prospering. You don't even know what the reality is in their life. You're only seeing a snapshot. You're only seeing that still photo of that moment. Sometimes, y'all, you don't even realize, if you really look at it, some of those pictures, they are from last year, the year before that. They're just recycling the image. So my question to you is, where are you going? What is your destination in this new beginning, in this new place that you're finding yourself? Where are you going? We've had time to reflect. What does your life look like? Normal going back is not an option. Okay. Let me just help you. What you knew coming into 2020, the life as we know it is going to be completely different. It's completely different. It's gonna be a minute, but it's gonna be completely different. And you, guess what? Can I tell you? You should be okay with that. You should be okay with God doing a new thing. You should be okay with God rearranging your life. You should be okay with God positioning you for greatness. You should be okay with God pushing you out of the nest and making you step out into that new place that you should have been stepping out into before. You should be okay with that. But are you like Naaman, and you got so caught up in that position that you were in? You got so caught up with those accolades that you were getting. You got so caught up with the applause of the people that you couldn't do the little thing that God asked you to do. Good morning, Wendy. Thanks for coming in. The little things. Sometimes it's the little things. God's renovation is okay with me. Me too, Raquel. Because God knows. And y'all, we say it, but I want you to really get that in your spirit. God has said he will do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ever ask or even think. So I want you to take that thing that you're thinking about and understand that as God is moving and shifting and rearranging things in your life, whatever that thing is that's in your mind of how you want it to look, can I tell you that God is going to do greater than that? Can I tell you that if you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, I want this particular, and I'm just going to use a vehicle, but it's not about a vehicle. You can say, God, I want this particular car. And God is saying, you're thinking too small. Can you understand that some things you haven't gotten yet because you're thinking too small? We need to learn from mistakes to start right, to start a new beginning. There are times, y'all, where I understand now that God didn't give me certain things because I couldn't handle it. And certain things, he was like, you're thinking too small, because I would have been so grateful and held on to the lesser thing. And God is saying, no, I have greater for you. Right. You cannot put a limit on God's favor. And then I'm gonna share this with you guys. Don't judge, coach, okay? But I like I have been watching No Limit Chronicles. If you are an entrepreneur, you really should watch No Limit Chronicles. And that is the story of Master P and No Limit Records, right? And I grew up listening to his music, but I didn't know his story. And as I began to listen to his story, this guy was the first person to have his own distribution deal. He was willing to do things that nobody else was doing, right? So, what does it mean when you have your own distribution deal? That meant he didn't depend on the record companies to produce and market his stuff. He said, I'll do all of that. So instead of getting 20%, them getting 80%, he got 80%, they got 20%. He's walking into boardrooms saying, hey, I want this artist. And they're saying, hey, I want, they owe us $350,000. He said, oh, that's it. And he writing checks saying, here, he's talking about some here. Okay, so we done here, and get up and walk away from the table. Who does that, right? But when I looked at, he did so many things that other people were not doing, but his mindset, he understood where he was going. He understood that there was no limit. Somebody, his grandmother had instilled in him that once you put your mind to something, there's no limit, right? And so, where are you going? Because we can't start to build. We can't start to do something in this season and not have counted up the cost, have not looked at where, the direction that we need to be going in, to not be sitting at the feet of the Father to say, God, what are we supposed to do? And don't get caught up in, the simple things. Don't miss the simple things that God is telling you to do right now, because you want to do some grand thing, because you want to be seen. Y'all, can I tell you that God is rewarding the secret things that you've been doing? He's rewarding those secret prayers. He's rewarding those secret seeds. He's rewarding those kind words that you said and nobody knew. He's rewarding those people that sowed into people's lives and didn't tell nobody. He's rewarding those. But people are going to see you blessed openly. Okay? So don't get caught up in the grand things. Don't get caught up in, oh, I got to be on the stage. People got to see me. Don't get caught up in that. That's listen. Sometimes that's why we have been shut down, is because so many people was on the stage. Where is your worship? Where is your worship now that you don't have a microphone? Where is your testimony now that you don't get to go to the church and say it inside the four walls? Is he still good? Is he good on your job? Is he good in Walmart? Is he good in Kroger? Is he good in Publix? Is he good wherever you are? Is he good in your community now that you have to, come around your neighbors? Is he still good? Or is he just good when you have, you know, a microphone? Can you go live on Facebook and tell the people about the goodness of God? Is he still good? So where are you going? What does next year look like? What does 6 years, 5 years, 10 years look like? This year, it was funny, y'all, because this past year, God told me, He said, okay, I want you to write down. I didn't just write down goals for 1 year. I wrote down 1 year goals. I wrote down 3 year goals, 5 year goals, and then 10 year goals. And I'm like, that's why am I thinking 10 years down the line? Because what I'm doing today is going to still stand 10 years from now. Because I know where I'm going, everything should be in, like the woman of God talked to us about last night. It should be in alignment. It should be aligned with where I'm trying to get to. So that way I'm not shooting from the hip. I'm not uh, to and fro and into everything. I'm focused. So where are you going? Where are you going? Do you just want to check? You just want some money? And I know sometimes, you get in a situation and you get in a place and you're like, look, coach, listen, I am barely making it. And so I know you want to check, but you should have a mindset of, past this check, I want generational wealth. I want to be able to leave a legacy. I don't just want a house. I want a home. I want it to be alive. I want it to be warm. I want it to be inviting. I want people to come to my home, and I want people to come to my dwelling place, my house, and feel at home. I want them to be able to go to sleep. I want them to come to my house and be able to rest. Because when you have a house that is peaceful, people will come to your house. People come to my house and they be sitting there and they just like, and they start to melt into this couch. And I'm like, are you okay? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, uh-huh. And I just turn on something on the TV and we'll talk for a little bit. Or they may nod off. And guess what? I let them go to sleep. And it's okay. Are you still living the wedding day and forgetting about your marriage? Are you investing in your marriage? For you married ladies, where is your marriage going? God didn't just join you together for that day. You have a lifetime. Your marriage has a purpose. What is that purpose? And if you don't know, really seek God and ask Him, say, why Him? Why did you put me together? Because sometimes when you ask that question, and you be like, oh, why you give me that one? But not in that sense, y'all. I want you to really be able to sit and say, God, what is the purpose of our marriage? What did you ordain from the foundation of the earth for this unit? And that will show you why the enemy fights you in certain areas. Because if you're supposed to teach other couples how to have generational wealth and how to do finances and all of that, can I tell you, you're probably going to be fought in your finances. If you're supposed to be an example to other people and their relationships, you got to go through some stuff. You got to be able to say, girl, me too. Listen, let me tell you, you get through that, sweetheart. I promise you. Don't even worry about that. Don't even listen. What I've read a quote one day. It says, um, a dog doesn't, I'm not calling nobody a dog, okay? But it says a dog doesn't bark at parked cars. So sometimes because people are talking about you, because you moving, you're in motion. Don't let it stop you. Okay. So whatever that small thing, that little thing that God is using, that He's asked you to do, don't get prideful. Don't get like Naaman. Don't get beside yourself and think that's beneath me. Don't do that. Whatever God is asking you to do, what sense does it make to put water in these jugs and it turns to wine? Does that make sense to you? What sense does it make to spit on the ground, and y'all, coach would have had a problem, I promise you. But to spit on the ground, make this paste, put it on the man's eyes, and he can see. That's simple things, and it confounds. But can I tell you, somebody is looking at your life and they know where you've been and they see the hand of God on your life right now, and they're sitting there going, "It don't make sense that she's still here. It don't make sense that she's still serving God. It don't make sense that she's still, happy. It don't make sense that she still worship. It don't make sense that she still got a song on her lips. Didn't her husband leave? Ain't they separated? But she still got joy. What that just don't make sense. Didn't she get divorced? Didn't her husband die? But she still prays. She still worships. She still show up. She's still here. She still, God will use the foolish things to confound the wise. So, guys, thank you so much for coming in this morning to this morning's morning tea. I want you to really think about, where are you going? Look at your life. Where are you going? Are there some places, some ways that you need to change, that you need to be like, my actions aren't aligning with where am I going? And this is a question that's on my mirror that I look at every day, and I hadn't been looking at it. And I looked up this morning and I said, oh. So coach is going to do this today too. Where are you going to make sure that the next few months align with where I should be for 2021? If you are interested in joining Wise Wives Build, that is a community on Facebook. I would be glad to have you in our and you don't have to be married. You can be an Esther in waiting. What is an Esther in waiting? Esther went through a time of preparation before she went into the king. So you may be a woman that is in waiting to go into your king. Okay. So wise wives build, but we want to be wise. We want to be wise wives. We want to be those women that function like the Proverbs 31 example. We want to be those women that build up instead of tearing down. Okay. So that's bit.ly, join WWB, and that's our Facebook group. And then you can connect with me, www.thecassandrawilliams.com, for all things coaching. I have t-shirts, I have books, I have coaching programs, books, t-shirts, all of those things. We are having an amazing time. It won't be the last time that we do it, but when the vow is tested, we are having an amazing time on Monday nights with that. So keep your eye out for more things like that. Thank you. So, guys, have an amazing day, and I will see you. You're welcome, Wendy. I will see you guys on tomorrow. I hope something was said during this teaching that you do feel equipped, you feel empowered, you feel encouraged, you feel educated. I hope I taught you something. I hope you learned something today. But that most of all, that you are moved to action, that you can act today. So your homework for today is look at your life. Where are you going? Determine, where are you going? No longer can you just drive up and down the street trying to figure it out. Sit still, settle yourself, and figure out where you're going and follow the directions of God. Okay? So love you guys to life. I'll see you guys tomorrow.